Hello, I'm Odin.
And I'm Alyssa with Beyond Geek.
And today I'm answering questions about my history with Beyond Geek. I'm going to be talking with Alyssa about some of the music videos that I've done with the Groovy Ghoulies and Beyond Geek in the past. And you're here because...
Well, not only am I the daughter of the creator of Beyond Geek, but I also have a lot of questions because you've known my dad for a really long time, and it's just kind of fun to get that little bit of insight.
Well, please, let me explain to you who your father is.
Please do. I love that.
So I've known Joe Gillis since 1994. We met when he was working on his short film. He did a silent movie, much in the same as the little comedic serial silent films from the silent area. 9 items or less. We were both through a mutual friend, and I actually made foam props and some costumes for him. What a shock!
Oh
foam
my
even
gosh.
then. And because of that, we just kept working together because it was actually a lot of fun, and it was a lot of work. And so a few years later, there's a local group here, a local band in Sacramento called the Groovy Ghoulies.
Yes.
And Joe got to know Kepi, and they wanted to do a music video because there was something was coming up. I don't know if it was a contest or if the song was getting released, but there was a reason that something was coming up and we had no time. So what we ended up doing was creating this idea for a science fiction music video. It was called Till Death Do Us Party. That was the song. And we put this whole thing together in like less than 24 hours. I think Joe had the final edit finished just about 24 hours or maybe 36 hours after the initial phone call of, hey, let's do a thing. Because of that, then he and I went on to work with his concept of Beyond Geek, the television show.
Right.
And I've been an editor with him and a maker and on screen and off screen and all. I've done everything but write music for Beyond Geek.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I remember that. You were always in the trenches with my dad, and that's always been such a fun thing. So now, the music videos, it wasn't just one video you guys happened to do. Like, it started with a video, but it turned into a couple different ones. Don't go out in the rain, you're gonna melt, sugar.
Right.
50,000 Spaceships and Running with Bigfoot, which the coolest part is 50,000 Spaceships was never a completely finished film. There was one little situation where they really, like my dad and Kepi super wanted a spaceship. How did that go?
What Kepi's idea was for him to sit on this rock in an area where he knew had good visuals behind him. He made a couple of, they were just literally paper plates that were hot glued together and spray painted silver, had a bit of string to a stick. And he wasn't worried about seeing the string, right? Because he wasn't worried about trying to pretend it was a real...
B-movie style.
Very B-movie style.
Very B-movie style,
So he wanted these spaceships flying over his head. So my job was to have this stick that was only about so long, right? It was a really short stick. And with a spaceship at the end of it, and just kind of hold it over his head. And we brought a couple, so I might be able to do two type of a thing, because it's 50,000. When we got out to where he wanted to shoot it, he's sitting on this rock that's got a cliff behind it. It's like I can't get behind him. So and then I can't be next to him. I have to be kind of...
you can't be in the shot.
I can't be in the shot. So I'm doing this crazy lean thing with a stick that's only so long and then trying to keep it, there's what we call headroom, right? How much space there is over our head within a shot.
Yeah.
Well, Joe was running camera, trying to make sure that Kepi had headroom, but still it was so close to Kepi that I hit him in the head with the, like a couple of times I did it on purpose, and then it just became really hard not to. Not because I was trying to be a jerk, it was just the space wasn't there.
Yeah.
Needed a much longer pole. So that particular video, we decided to drop using the paper plates and ended up doing them what you call clean. So it was just the sky behind him, and we were going to add in 50,000 spaceships, some spaceships, in post. Now this was, again, 20 years ago. So because of that, the 50,000 spaceships never quite got finished. And then during that elongated post-production time, the Groovy Ghoulies as a band broke up. So the three of them stopped touring, the three of them stopped performing together. And so that video just never quite got finished. The other two both got put out. That was another big fun thing with what's going on right now is finally, 20 years later, 50,000 Spaceships as a finished video is coming out. And Joe got the one spaceship shot in that he always wanted. He got that found footage, wiggly UFO shot. So, and he did that completely by hand. So even though it's 20 years later and it's much easier to do match move and motion tracking within different editing programs,
yeah,
still by hand, He put this thing on there and then would watch which direction the blur is going in frame of the tree. And then he would just have the computer do a motion blur about the same length and about the same direction, because it's a quick shot.
Yeah.
So by hand, he sat there and put that in there. And then I think added a second layer of tree on top of the spaceship, so it looked like it was,
further away than it
behind
really
the tree
was.
instead of pasted on top of the video.
All right, and so running with Bigfoot, you were in the Bigfoot costume.
I was voluntold that I was embodying Bigfoot. I had no problem with it, right? It's like, hey, we're doing this Bigfoot thing. We want you to wear the suit and make the feet. And it's like, yeah, sure. I had made a Wookiee suit for something else entirely.
Right.
So for the music video, I made Bigfoot feet. I took a pair of combat boots and made platforms underneath them and stuck big foam toes out the front and painted them with latex and glued more of the same hair on them.
For those of you listening, that means that Chewbacca is in fact also a Bigfoot.
Yes.
You can use both. That's important.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
what I'm taking from
Well,
this.
just like Yeti and Sasquatch are all kind of Bigfoot, because the whole Sasquatch idea covers Yeti. Yeti's got a different name because he's in a different area. Chewbacca's in a very different area, so they just call them Wookiees. Not a big deal.
He's in a land far, far away. It's okay.
And you can also tell that Wookiees and Sasquatch have been around for a long, long time.
A long, long time. Yeah, no, there's been plenty of spotting out there. So I got the chance to chat with my dad about why you guys headed up to like the Northern California area you did. And it sounds like it had something to also do with Bigfoot. Were you a part of that planning as well?
As far as the planning, no. I wasn't part of the planning at all. Kepi knew the locations he wanted to go to, the railroad track locations, the tunnel where the pond was. These are the places he wanted to go. And then, he was open to our interpretation of, it would look really good if we went over here.
Right.
So,
right.
And there was one day of pickups that Joe and I did, like a month later, maybe. It may have been a week later. But we went back up to some of the locations because we needed more close-ups of me, especially the whole sequence with the hunter shooting at Bigfoot in the music video running with Bigfoot.
Right.
Because the hunter is Joe. That's Joe Gillis.
Yeah.
You probably noticed.
Yeah, just a little
just
bit.
a little bit.
I'm a little familiar.
That was shot on an entirely different day. The two of us went back up for that, and a few other close-ups of me running around and doing things was all shot later. So it was 2 days of shooting for that, but everything else for all three of those music videos were shot in one day, one go, with the five of us, because there's three members of the Ghoulies, myself and Joe. Right. And I think we were at our pizza dinner before the sun went down.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Go to joegillis.com to watch all the remastered Groovy Ghoulies videos and more behind the making of them.
Thank you for watching our interview.
Thanks for tuning in.